Hello everyone and welcome back to another weekly report from the Footy Lab. As things stand at the moment, we've got just over 3.8 million coins in the club. Most of that came from Tuesday morning's grind stream where we managed to pack 99 rated Mia Hamm, who eventually sold for around 2 million coins. I did decide to take a chance on a couple of the promo packs as well, but they didn't exactly work out, so I think we'll be avoiding those in the future. At the moment we've got around 150 champs tokens and just over 1100 footies tokens. Most of the tokens are open during the Tuesday morning streams where I tend to focus on rewards, objectives, upgrades and all of the club management elements. This is the current squad that I've been using in Rivals and Champs this past week. The team has changed slightly here and there, but the core of the side remains the same, and a lot of these players have now played well over 1,000 matches for the club. That's one of the things I enjoy most about this team. Rather than constantly replacing players, we're continuing to develop them and build around the tactical identity we're trying to create. On the competitive side, we're still pushing towards Division 2 and hopefully we'll be able to get promotion during the next set of Rivals matches. Away from Rivals and Champs, we've also been working through objectives and live events, including the Footies Flash tournament. Had a lot of fun with the 3-5-2 formation, and there's a good chance we'll be revisiting that over the coming weeks because there were some really interesting tactical ideas that came out of it. So with all that out of the way, let's take a look at how the week unfolded. This week has been a busy one for evolutions. There's been quite a few new ones that have dropped. Carl Joseph received the second stage of Make Your Nation Pride Star evolution. Because I've already done the first part, obviously I could only put this on him. Finn Munro and Dale Fry both received significant defensive upgrades as well. You can see from a couple of clips here, those two particular players, Dale Fry and Carl Joseph, just making a difference in the team. One of the things I'm enjoying most at the moment is that the club is starting to feel more and more like my own. Rather than simply buying players on the market, we're gradually building a squad that fits how I want to play. Now, because of the amount of fodder that I've been generating, I had enough in there to complete the Frenkie de Jong SBC. Now, what I'm showing you here is how I add the playstyles to Footies cards via the Footies Lab. I go in and use Foot Genie. It just makes it a lot easier. You can see I select the playstyles that I want and then just hit apply all and it puts them on there. So the playstyle plus ones here, the 4 of them, and then just add them in. Finally, I completed Footy's blueprint on Leo Castledine, who's continued to develop into a really useful option. This evolution gave him the striker position, which really benefits how I want to play with him as a false 9. Division Rivals continues to be the foundation of the club, and the push towards Division 2 is still very much alive. One thing I've definitely noticed this week is that I'm becoming much more efficient. I'm reaching the 24 point target much more quickly than I used to, which tells me that the improvements we've been making are starting to become second nature. The matches are definitely becoming more challenging, but I also feel as though I'm playing much better football. My right stick switching has improved considerably, I'm triggering runs much more deliberately, and the overall movement of the team feels much more natural. We've also continued introducing some of the newer players and evolutions that we spoke about earlier in the report, and they've fitted into the system well. We're still only a couple of wins away from Division 2, so hopefully that's something we'll push for next week. For now though, the focus remains exactly the same. Patience, movement, intelligent passing and continuing to trust the process. Moving into Champs this week, the target was 10 wins, as it is most weekends. Unfortunately we fell a little short and finished on 8, which is about where I usually end up. If I'm honest, a couple of things worked against me. I had a few matches with some pretty poor connections and then I made the mistake of jumping straight back into the next game while I was frustrated. This definitely cost me results. I also decided to experiment a little bit with a couple of new players, Frenkie de Jong and Fernando Torres. They were both good, but neither of them really stood out. In fact, I found myself missing some of the evolved players I've spent weeks building around because I developed much more of a connection with the team as it is. Overall, I'm convinced that 10 wins is achievable. I think the answer is simply to be more patient, spread the games out across the weekend and trust the system a little more. And considering I haven't played a huge amount of champs this year in general until recently, I'm quite happy with what I've achieved so far. As always, we'll be saving those champs tokens for some tradable packs which will open live during one of the Tuesday morning streams. That brings this week's report to a close. The focus next week will be very similar. We'll continue pushing towards Division 2, we'll keep experimenting with new evolutions as they're released, and we'll carry on refining the system and seeing which players really fit the way we want to play. There's also another Footies team on the way, so it'll be interesting to see which players arrive and whether any of them can earn a place in the squad. Away from the game itself, I'll also be keeping an eye on any news and updates related to FC27 because some of the changes already look really interesting. As always, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time here in the Footy Lab.